the biggest and best bedding buy ever.
And we bought it all.
Sealy gathered all 1990 Posturepedic covers from across America and put them on an extra thick Super Plush mattress that could double for a Posturepedic. These luxurious damask covers were formerly used on Posturepedics, costing up to $1,200. This quality bedding even has a 15-year Posturepedic warranty. All this for $259 for a queen-size set. But hurry, even 9 truckloads won't last long at these prices at the Mall Evans.
Here is another successful senior, sponsored by Tulsa Coca-Cola Bottlers.
East Central senior Stephen Roop shares the credit for his success with his parents.
My parents have helped me quite a bit. They didn't grab the reins and steer me one direction, but they let me see all the options. They showed me which ones they would prefer, and then they let me make my own decision. And through trial and error, I've learned what's going to be good and what's not. I've also had good friends, good close friends that have been very supportive.
Oklahoma tornadoes can strike within a matter of minutes, so knowing where to seek shelter could save your life. Find the safest shelter in your home with this free KOTV Tornado Tip brochure. Use the Doppler Safe Spot stickers to remind you and your family of the best place to reside during the storm.
For your free KOTV Tornado Tip brochure, stop by any Tulsa area Pizza Hut location. Keep weather-wise with your free KOTV Weather Tornado Tip brochure and Doppler 6 Safe Spot from Pizza Hut and Channel 6.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free.
On what famous monument are these lines inscribed? You will find them on A, the Washington Monument, B, the Statue of Liberty, C, the Eiffel Tower. This inscription, written by Emma Lazarus, can be found on the Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor.
This is a Doppler 6 weather update.
Good evening, friends. Meteorologist Jim Giles here. Tornado watch still in effect east and southeast of the Tulsa area, but so far things quiet. Let me show you a Doppler 6 radar. Seeing a little bit of noise up to the west of us. This is not shower or storm activity, but to the north and east of us. Let's take a zoom-in view here. In the southwesternmost part of Missouri, that's where we find our nearest storminess. Let me show you where the tornado watch box is now. Tornado watch runs until 4 o'clock this morning. Basically, it runs from Miami on down to about the Ada area. We're including McAllister, Fort Smith, and Muskogee. Tulsa is not included in this. I've just talked to the folks out at the National Weather Service, and they're telling me that they're going to be dropping the far westernmost counties along that watch box. Let me show you the satellite view, and I can show you why that's about to happen. Here's the existing tornado watch box right now. But notice the big mass of severe storms around the Springfield, Missouri area on up through about the Lake of the Ozarks region. And if you can look very carefully, you can see some brighter clouds stretching on down into the easternmost part of Oklahoma, where we're seeing the breaks in the clouds immediately to the west of this brighter zone of cloudiness. That will be the zone that will be dropped off of this tornado watch box area. So that will probably be through about the Muskogee area down to about McAllister, on down to about the Durant region. So the folks off to the west, the far western part of this box, I do anticipate them dropping that off. Still another surge moving through the central part of the state, but not likely will it produce severe weather. So there's still that slight risk of severe storms east and southeast of us. We'll watch it for a while. Have a pleasant early morning.
This has been a special weather report from the News on 6. We now return to our regularly scheduled programming.
Dora Hobbs taught me speech and drama at Cushing High School. Dora thought small Oklahoma towns in the 50s should be known for something other than their high school football teams. And I'm glad she was there when the people who put the new radio station in town called and asked if there was a high school kid who could do a little radio work. Dora told me years later she recommended me with great expectations.
Success begins with great expectations. Brought to you by Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and Channel 6. KOTV 6, Tulsa.
Welcome to Love Connection, where old-fashioned romance meets modern.
In upstate Maine and northern New England. Rain down here in central Florida tomorrow as that cold front comes down the state very slowly. Out here in the far western part of the country, some snow in the west as a system comes in from the Pacific. Expect rain tomorrow in Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco. 64 will be the high tomorrow in L.A. 55, a popular number for a high tomorrow in Denver, Dallas, and New Orleans. Good thing they're not playing that game in New Orleans tonight. It has been pouring rain all along the Gulf Coast. Of course, they're playing in a dome, so it doesn't make that much difference, but who wants to go to a game in that kind of weather condition? Here's Florida now, looking pretty good here, clear over central and south Florida, but there's the front up to the north. It's going to move very slowly down the state. It's going to be a rainy day in Orlando tomorrow, and it could be a rainy day down here on Tuesday, or at least cloudy anyway. Hopefully that front won't linger. It'll go away. All right, boaters tomorrow, the wind will be southwest, light 10 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, and the bays will have a light chop. The tide's going to be high at 10:29 tonight and low at 4:39 in the morning. Sunrise is now at 7:01 and sets at 5:48. Here's my forecast for tonight. Beautiful, partly cloudy skies. It's going to be mild and beautiful, and we're going to look great on national television for the King Orange Parade. And then, for the first day of the 90s, it's going to be nice. We'll be in the 80s. It's going to be warm. Could be even a little bit warmer than today, and just a slight chance of an afternoon shower. On Tuesday, that front will be in. And that's the weather. Neri?
Thank you, Gary. I know some people who are going to be very happy about that forecast because the countdown is on for South Florida's giant New Year's Eve celebration.
The King Orange Jamboree Parade kicks off in a little while, and Eyewitness News reporter Janelle Stelson is standing by live right now in downtown Miami. Janelle?
Neri, it's kind of a zoo out here, or should I say parade. We're getting set for the 56th annual King Orange Jamboree. You can see the stands behind me. Almost packed now. We're just minutes away from the beginning. We're looking at 2.2 miles for the parade route, and they're calling it the kaleidoscope of lights this year, and believe me, it takes hours to put on the finishing touches. The sideline skirmish for the best place to plant yourself. You're at the parade so early. Why?
Oh, so because my brother and my sister are on the parade, and my mom wanted to get here early so we could get good seats.
But a kaleidoscope of lights doesn't just happen for the 70-plus parade units planning to light up the night along Biscayne Boulevard.
Fantastic. We have a good time every year. Every year.
Looks like a lot of hard work.
It's about 15 months in a year. We stretch it out quite a bit. Having a hell of a time.
What do you have to do to get the horses all ready?
Well, we give them a bath, and we shave their bridle paths, and we clean them all up, and we have a costume that each one wears, as long as we wear also.
The star-studded 2.2-mile parade route will be graced by chubby checkers on Tropicana's Orange Delight float, Olympic gold medalist Jackie Joyner-Kersee and her husband, and a host of other luminaries. How do you think the parade's going to shape up this year?
I think it's going to be a beautiful parade, especially this light thing that's going to have, I think it's a spectacular show. It always has been, and I think this is probably the better of all the ones they've ever had before.
Well, parade officials are expecting 350,000 people for the parade this year, and it feels more like 350,000 are standing right here. One of the other highlights after the parade, over from the Hotel Intercontinental, we will have a big inflatable orange rising up, and at the stroke of the midnight, it will hit the top, kind of like the Apple in New York. And there'll be fireworks off the top of the hotel and from Dodge Island that you can see at midnight from Bayfront or anywhere around the waterside. Back to you.
Well, Janelle, find your spot and have a great time. Janelle Stelson reporting to us live from Parade Central.
And that's going to do it for us.
For Elliot, Gary, Frank, and the rest of the Eyewitness News team, thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for ABC's World News Sunday, and have a happy, safe, very safe New Year's Eve.
Good night.
If you see news in the making, call the Channel 10 Eyewitness News tip line. In Dade, 576 News. In Broward, 565 News.
Emmy winner for Best Dramatic Series, Tuesdays on ABC.
Number 2 won't cut it. For the Miami Hurricanes, it's come down to the wire. The bomb squad on red alert. The Legion of Doom is taking no prisoners. the Alabama Crimson Tide, a lean, mean, top 10 machine. The Rolling Tide defense crushes opponents, and this time looks straight into the eye of a hurricane. The Canes tackle the Tide in a Sugar Bowl showdown. Hurricane force winds and high tides are expected. An Eyewitness Sports Special, Sugar Bowl Showdown, tonight at 8, only on 10.
New Year's Eve, rock and roll in the 90s with Kurt Cameron and Roy Loughlin and their friends Michael Damian, Dion, Martika, Expose, Stephanie Mills, The Temptations, with Dick Clark live from Times Square. It's an all-star evening of rock and romance. So say goodbye to the 80s and toast in the 90s. Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Right here on ABC.
Tonight.
Historic Brandenburg Gate at the Berlin Wall. The new year began moments ago. East Germans celebrating 1989, when they fought to win freedom, and 1990, when they will work to keep it.
ABC News, World News Sunday. Here's Forrest Sawyer.
Good evening. What more fitting close to 1989 than a party at the Berlin Wall, the world's biggest party according to one German newspaper. Thousands of people have gathered at the wall, many of them armed with hammers and chisels, to chip away at the remnants of a communist system